Back to the rink for every hit, every shot, every goal. Here's Alex Rawnsley.
Welcome back inside the Hat Parker Arena here. The Kings trying to digest a 2-1 loss to the Grizzlies in double overtime and a all too familiar result, regrettably, against the Grizzlies on the back of a really solid game last night. This one very much hung in the balance all night long. The scoring, obviously, a lot less than the 10 goals that we got last night. Just the 3 here this evening. Scoring opened up at 11:33 through Jackson Alexander, his first of the season. Just kind of sliding one through Mitch Adamic. 5-hole, and that made it 1-0. The Kings got one back not long after. In fact, at 18:14 of the first period, Ben Raffler got his first of the year. Abbott gets it in on a backhand. Kawamura there, stripping that is Barad, right goal line. Ben Barad steps up, delivers to the blue line. Long drive, they score! Ben Raffler! Raffler from a similar position on the ice that Jack Long scored his first of the Kings' first of the season last night. The Kings, a 1-1 tie through 20 minutes worth of play. Shots on goal 14-6 in favor of the Kings through 20 minutes. Into the second period and a very tight period, not a whole ton both ways. There are a couple of posts that were hit. Turnbull hit the post, in fact, hit both posts on a single shot. That was probably the best chance. The Grizzlies hit a corner a couple of times. There were 3 bars hit in that period, but in terms of genuine bona fide scoring chances, there were few and far between. So the shots on goal in the period, 11-8 in favor of the Powell River Kings, 2 period totals of 25-14. In the third period, again, not a whole ton offensively. Both teams, picking and choosing their spots. The Grizzlies out shooting the Kings for the first time this season in a period, 11-7, and that meant we headed to overtime. And then the Powell River Kings out shooting the Grizzlies 5-2 in the first OT session, and then the Grizzlies getting the lone shot in the second OT. It was unassisted from Ethan Nother. He took the puck in the right corner and just outweighted Mitch Adamic, who did his best to stick with it, was unable to do so, and the Kings fall by a score of 2-1 in double overtime against the Victoria Grizzlies. It wasn't a phrase I was hoping to say anytime soon, given last year, but that is what we have regardless, and the Kings, they fall by a score of 2-1. The weekend overall, I mean, Kent Lewis said it in the pregame show, the second leg of that doubleheader is extremely difficult, and it's very tough to beat a team twice back-to-back, despite the fact that you're on home ice, and the home ice advantage that the Kings enjoy, being isolated and the travel and all those reasons. But the Grizzlies, credit them. They rebounded. They responded beautifully from an 8-2 shellacking last night and came out. And they took a lot of pages out of the Kings playbook, I thought. I mean, they were very aggressive on the forecheck. They got to pucks first. They made life difficult for the Kings inside their own zone, made life difficult getting out. The Kings weren't nearly as sharp as they were last night in terms of their passing. Certainly we didn't see any kind of crisp passing plays like we did between Obsuth, Evans, and Turnbull last night. And it is a classic example of how you can enjoy a game and you can enjoy a result as the Kings had last night. But at the same time, you need to refocus for today and know that the next game is going to be that much harder. And the Kings got that tonight when they faced the Victoria Grizzlies and dropped that 2-1 decision. Here in double overtime. We will do our 3 stars of the game while we're waiting for Brock Sawyer to join us here in our post-game show as the crew at the Hat Parker Arena starting to chew up the ice and get it prepared for the next rental. The Fortis BC Energy player of the game for the Kings, number 22, Jack Long, he had this fascinating battle with Justin McCallion all night long. It resulted in them going in the penalty box a couple of times in the third period, but that battle all night long was very interesting to watch. Your third star of the game with his first goal of the year, number 44, Ben Raffler for the Powell River Kings, scored in the first period. A nice drive from the left face-off circle. Made it 1-1. Second star of the game, not only had the Grizzlies' lone goal in regulation, but I thought he was excellent on the back end all night. Number 2 for the Grizzlies, Jackson Alexander. And your first star of the game was a constant presence all night long and got the OT winner for the Grizzlies, number 9, Ethan Nother. Positives for the Kings, and we'll talk this with Brock Sawyer here in a moment when he joins us in our post-game show. But positives for the Kings is the fact that you get a very disciplined team through 2 full games. I mean, Only, 2 power plays given up the entire weekend. That is something that you will no doubt like for the Kings moving forward, and they get a chance now to try their luck on the road and see how they've come as a group already on the road. They went to Vancouver Island a couple of weeks ago, went 1-2, and they will go back to that place where they got the victory in Cowichan against the Cowichan Valley Capitals a couple of weeks ago. They'll go back there on Saturday. Our guests have joined us up here in our post-game show. We will start to get that settled here. If you are watching us live on 95.7 Coast FM, we will start to get things all to... if you're watching us live on YouTube, we are streaming our video post-game show on YouTube, and you can find that on all the Kings social media by going to youtube.com/BCHL Kings. As Brock Sawyer is joining us here in our post-game show, we'll put the camera up. And Brock, that's a bit of a tough one to kind of stomach. I mean, full credit, I think, has to go to Victoria. They responded after a tough one last night. I know the Kings didn't necessarily play the way that they wanted to play, but talk us through particularly the start of that game where Victoria was a little bit more aggressive and taking a few pages out of the way the Kings played last night.
Well, I mean, anytime you come out and obviously dominate a team like we did last night, you know they're going to have some pushback. I mean, that's the joy of playing double headers, and it was unacceptable on our part to come out and have an effort like that, and it's a real letdown after so many positives to build on last night that we came out and laid an egg. We didn't compete. We didn't move our feet. We were slow to get the pucks. We weren't anticipating where the puck was going. We were reacting to it, and that's unacceptable for Kings hockey. I mean, we need to be a lot better, and it starts from our older guys all the way down. I mean, it's we had guys last night that thought it was going to be easy here today, and that's not the case any day in this league. I mean, it's we have to be better and come dialed in to play every day. And I mean, we just gave them 2 points, and yes, we picked up one. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, right now they're a point back of us, so big deal. We need to be a lot better and play more consistent hockey.
The frustrating thing, it wasn't as crisp tonight, I think, and I mean, we alluded to that through 40 minutes worth of play when Zach Evans talked with Kyle Bodie, and he said the Kings were kind of just sitting back waiting for the game to kind of come to them. Didn't seem to be that get up and go tonight.
No, exactly. I mean, like I said, we came in here and thought it was going to be easy, and anytime you beat a team 8-2, it's by a landslide margin, it's just going to get harder. And I mean, obviously they went back to the hotel and adjusted and watched some video and dissected a lot of things, and kudos to them. I mean, they came ready to play today and injected their captain in their lineup, and we just didn't compete. Like, we were slow, we weren't tenacious, we didn't have any jump, we didn't have any bite. We were losing puck battles in our zone, we were losing puck battles down in the offensive zone, and we were turning the puck over carelessly and a lot of stick checks. I mean, the second period we got absolutely dominated, and it was embarrassing, and guys are going to learn pretty quickly here that that's unacceptable for Kings hockey. And I mean, we'll learn from it, we'll build off of it, but there was too many negatives today that outweighed the positives, and you're not going to win many hockey games when that's the case.
I always do like to try and focus on at least one positive, and let's take one from the weekend. Aside from the 3 points that the Kings are able to gather, you got to love the discipline of this Kings team. I mean, if you told me that 2 games between the Kings and the Grizzlies would yield 2 power plays given up from the Kings over the weekend, I probably wouldn't have believed you before the 2 games this weekend.
No, definitely not. I mean, obviously, you asked Jack about the rivalry last night. You could see things heat up here a little bit today. Obviously, they came out with more jam and were finishing hits, and for whatever reason, we didn't respond. So, I mean, we were just as physical, when we had to be, but there was no real animosity built up here, and it was just one of those games where it was deflating and it was flat. I mean, we played down to their level tonight. I mean, they're a young team. They're going to figure it out and get better like most teams do as the season goes on. But, we need our older guys to step up and play the way that they know how. I mean, some guys have been with us here in their 4th season or, 3 or 4 years here in our jersey and understand, what we preach and what we expect day in and day out. And, we need to have a full team effort and guys, wanting the puck on their stick and, paying a price to get to the front of the net and taking a hit to make a play and being smart. Obviously our discipline was great, and we're 100% on the kill, which is a very, very good positive after this weekend. But no, I mean, there's a lot there, and we're building, and The thing I liked is our teammates sticking up for each other. I mean, you can see how tight the guys are already after being together for about a month here. So, no, it's encouraging. But, like I said, if you don't come to play 60 minutes or 65 or however long the game is, I mean, you're not going to win.
Let's look ahead to what's to come. I know this team likes to get out on the road, particularly early in the season, because you get that bonding, you get that gelling of a unit, and the quicker you can do that in a season, I think the better you get. It's a nice little taste. I mean, the Kings do so many 3-3s, particularly through Vancouver Island. You've got your interior trips later in the season, but you get a little bit of a taste of the road. You go 2 on Vancouver Island this upcoming weekend, in Nanaimo and in Cowichan, and then the showcase the following weekend. Talk to us, I mean, you're a former player here with the Kings. Talk to us about what the road trip does for a playing group and what you can do on the ice to try and just see where you stand in the Island Division.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, winning on the road is never easy, and if you can do it early in the season, you're going to be set up well down the stretch, Ryan, and into the playoffs. So, the last couple seasons hasn't been too kind to us for whatever reason. Obviously, teams get up to play us and know when the Kings are coming to town, and winning in another team's building, like I said, it's not easy. So, being on the road, it's fun. I mean, you get in the hotels, you eat together, you bond, you do video together, you go for walks together. I mean, we stay in great hotels and eat great meals, and everything we do is together. So it's it's a great opportunity for us to get out early and really gel and mesh. And some guys who don't really probably hang out in town because of school schedules and stuff like that. It provides an opportunity for teammates to spend some time together who normally wouldn't. So it's phenomenal, and hopefully we can get on the road and get off to a good start. I mean, obviously, a split here wasn't ideal, but to our fans who came out again, thank you. I mean, for Saturday afternoon and the first rainy, cold one here in town after such a phenomenal summer. I mean, it's thankfully hockey season's back, and we get another chance to do this again next weekend and for the next couple months. So, look forward to getting on the road and seeing Nanaimo and seeing Cowichan and going from there, and then obviously the showcase, and that's just all about controlling emotion and playing in the moment. So with all the the hype and the circus atmosphere there with all the colleges. So, it's exciting times ahead, and look forward to it. And obviously we need to come back to the rink here and learn from this and build and get stronger as a team and get better and learn the understanding of compete and of character and what it's going to take to win in our jersey every night. And
just quickly before we let you go, you get Nanaimo Cowichan next weekend. Kings saw Cowichan in exhibition. That game you could probably throw out the window. I mean, Cowichan still had a number of players that they had to trim down their roster to. What do you know about Nanaimo, and what do you think we're able to expect come Friday night?
I know they had a big comeback win last night. So
and they're up 6-1 in Cowichan when we last checked towards the end of the first period.
Okay, so wow. I don't know. I'll have to dissect some video on them and figure out what they're going to be throwing at us. And I mean, I expect a big physical team and a very physical game. So those are pretty typical games between Nanaimo and Powell River. And I mean, that's on Friday, so we got 5-6 days here to prepare for that. And we'll be ready to go on Friday night. It's always exciting to go into the Frank Crane Arena, and they turn the lights on. It gets warm in that building, but no, we need to be at our best and early and have a good start. And no better way to start the road season off than with a big W in that rink.
Brock, I appreciate you coming up here and doing this. It's never fun after a loss, but we do it every game, and appreciate you giving your thoughts here.
No, I know I kind of sound negative, but I mean it's not fun after a loss, especially when
it's deflating. I mean it is what it is, and it's I imagine it can be frustrating as a coach to see so many good things on one night and see those kind of evaporate.
No, for
the next
sure.
night.
I mean it's not the fact that we lost; it's the fact that we didn't compete. I mean, if we lose and we work hard for 60 minutes and we just can't buy our breaks, I mean that's the way it is. But when we show up like that and we're careless and we stick check and we play a game of shinny, that's what's the frustrating part. So, but on a more happier note, just want to wish a big happy birthday to Nadine Porchetta, our marketing lady who does pretty much everything here. So, big happy birthday to Nadine.
Is it today?
It is today, yeah. And
how did I not know that?
Facebook, man, get your notifications going.
I gotta get.
I feel bad
now. I've been hanging out with her all day today. You're making me look bad.
No, she does so much for us here, and and obviously last night couldn't have gone on without her and the strobe lights and the atmosphere. So kudos to her and happy birthday, Nate.
I think it's very underrated how much Nadine does to get a Kings game day ready. And we know how much she does, and I think there's a whole lot of stuff that you and I don't know that goes on. So happy birthday, Nadine. I feel bad that I didn't know earlier on. So, Brock, thank you so much for coming up here and joining us here.
Thank you. We'll do it again Friday.
Absolutely. Friday from the Frank Crane Arena in Nanaimo. And we will say goodbye to our Facebook and YouTube viewers for our live post-game show, and thank Brock Sawyer for joining us very much.